I just stepped in from an Arizona monsoon. It's pouring rain out there. My hair's still wet, and there's thunder and lightning crackling in the background outside my window.
That happens a lot. That happened in the last video too. That's weird.
Sounds very ominous, which I think is a good backdrop to talk about the demise of the American democracy. I know exactly what their plan is because I was one of them. I was a Christian nationalist, white supremacist. I know where they're going and how they're doing it.
It's interesting. I know where they're going and how they're doing it because I have read an absurd amount of history books on this subject. Like, it's clear as day what's going on and what they're doing and what the plan is. The next step is to censor people oppositional to the party. By the way, follow me on Patreon. You don't have to like donate, but you can follow me there at least. If you do, then it'll be like a method of me connecting with you or whatever. I would really appreciate it if you guys did that.
I was trained to do this stuff myself as a radical member of the religious right. And I'll tell you right now, I wish that I was just being dramatic, that I was just saying this for clicks. I'm not. Let me give you the playbook. Manufacture a moral panic. Label everybody but you as the enemy. Then claim you're the only one who can restore order. And you're going to restore that order by whatever you have to do to that moral enemy, the boogeyman.
Violence. It always ends up as violence every single time.
The president will be controlling speech. And that sounds really noble. The way that he's presenting this to his base, super noble. Until you realize it means the government deciding which speech is allowed. For the first time ever, Americans are facing widespread censorship with widespread consequences. That is not freedom. And when a president targets his own citizens, he's breaking the oath he swore to uphold. By the way, so is J.D. Vance. He's out there telling employers to punish people over political loyalty tests. This is exactly how you chill dissent in the community that I spent my entire life inside. It's a good old-fashioned excommunication. We now have this whole group of people in the United States who are apostates, who are heretics, and we're going to shun them and make sure that we just snuff them off of the face of the earth. This is no different than the Salem witch trials. If we can just put a pin in witch trials for a minute, there's no such thing as witches. These were trials against women.
She's a witch!
Innocent women who had done nothing wrong. Hanging a couple of so-called witches is a very effective way of making ordinary people too scared to speak, to work, to simply exist. My question in this Charlie Kirk backlash is this: where the fuck are the Democrats? Literally, why are we fighting for our jobs, our basic freedoms on TikTok and YouTube and Snapchat while our leaders lurk in the shadows? Stand up, defend our Constitution, speak out, defend us. In a minute, I'm going to read an open letter to my congressman. I've sent this to my congressman and the congressmen of every state around me that I'm not even a constituent of. It's a plea from little old me, someone who used to believe in this authoritarian script and who works really hard to bring it to reality. That Christian nation that was purged of all evildoers. I want you to listen to my letter, share this video with anyone who still thinks this can't happen here, and then draft a letter of your own to send to your congressman. Here's the letter.
Problem is that I don't know what the congressman could do. What do we expect of them? I don't know. If I were in the position of a congressman, what would I do? I have a public platform as a congressman, right? But I have a public platform now, and what the fuck can I do? I can do literally nothing. The only other thing I have as a congressman, really, is lawmaking ability, negotiation and stuff. And they're doing that to the best of their ability. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what they can do, which is disturbing as hell, honestly.
Dear my congressman, I am writing to you as a constituent and as someone who cares deeply about the health and safety of our democracy. I identify as a liberal feminist and a Democrat, and I want to share my concerns about issues that are affecting not just me personally, but many of my neighbors and fellow citizens. Following the heartbreaking murder of Charlie Kirk at a college that my own son once attended, President Donald Trump knowingly and intentionally attempted to incite conflict amongst his citizens. After being asked about fixing national divisions following Charlie Kirk's assassination, Trump said on Fox and Friends, "I tell you something that is going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the left are the problem." Just a reminder, I know you don't need this reminder, but that quote was said before we had any idea who had killed Charlie Kirk. Also, in a video from the Oval Office, President Trump said, "I am filled with grief and anger. Those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop now." From the attack on my life, the attack on ICE agents, shooting of Scalise, radical left political
Scalise.
violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values Charlie Kirk lived and died for. Values like free speech, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. The bit about asking Americans to commit to devotion and love of God also defies the anti-establishment clause and freedom of religion. He added, "The radicals on the left are the problem, and they are vicious and horrible, and they're politically savvy. We have radical left lunatics out there, and we just have to beat the hell out of them." My letter continues, "Congressman, as you are aware, President Trump took an oath of office in which he swore to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution."
You know, all this stuff is like obvious to us, but it's important that it's on the record. You know, it's important it's on the record as like what's happening and what we bring up and what we discuss.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
That includes protecting the rights and safety of U.S. citizens. Under the First Amendment, speech is protected, even harsh political speech, unless it crosses the line into incitement to imminent lawless action. That's the Brandenburg versus Ohio standard from 1969. If a president, however, engages in hate speech, and it's likely to spark immediate illegal acts, that can meet the legal threshold for incitement. President Trump has breached his oath in two ways. Number one, dereliction of duty. Encouraging violence against citizens contradicts the president's sworn duty to protect them. Number two, abuse of power. Using the presidential platform to inflame hostility could be framed as a misuse of authority. Beyond criminal law, even
He should have been removed already a long time ago, of course. He shouldn't have been allowed back into power.
speech that falls short of illegal incitement can be considered a high crime or misdemeanor under the Constitution's impeachment standard if Congress deems it as an abuse of power. Let me pause here really quick and point out that citizens have the freedom to engage in hate speech. The president and vice president do not, because
As the vice president and the president, they don't. That's right. But Trump and Vance, personally, as individuals, can go to a party and say all the vile shit they want. The president cannot. It's an important distinction. It's like a teacher can't tell children to like love Jesus and all that stupid shit. But the individual, the human being outside of that context can.
as they are sworn to protect the citizenry. Let me continue. I am a women's rights activist, having been part of the MAGA party and also a Christian nationalist for the first 4+ decades of my life. As a former Republican who now works hard to promote peace and stand up for women, I personally have been harassed, bullied, threatened, and intimidated as a result of the statements of President Trump last week. And I know other citizens across the country who are literally afraid for their lives and safety as a result of the backlash against innocent Democrats because of President Trump blaming leftists
Oh, I'm scared shitless.
for the
This is why I say sign up at my Patreon. You don't have to donate, but at least like follow me there.
horrifying death of Charlie Kirk. I am genuinely afraid for myself and my family right now. Senator, I urge you to publicly condemn this rhetoric and begin proceedings to impeach President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, a
You know, they have limited abilities here.
president who cannot uphold his oath and protect the safety of the citizens he has been elected to serve must be removed from office. Please push immediately for accountability through action. As an activist with a large following online, I hear the fears and hearts of millions of other citizens across the country. And I can tell you they are scared because of the recent statements and attitudes of President Trump.
Again, I certainly am. I certainly am. The way I see it is, if I come out of this without going to jail, then I'm lucky. Not because I haven't done, not because I've done anything. I haven't. I condemn violence, and I have since day one. At no point ever in my entire career have I ever encouraged violence. I have always been opposed to violence. Since I was a Jehovah's Witness, I'm a pacifist. But it's pretty obvious to me that where things are going, right?
He is waging war on his own citizens, as is Vice President J.D. Vance. Please take action to protect me and your other constituents and other citizens across this nation. I will be waiting for your reply and following your actions closely. Thank you for your service, Senator. This is a time for you to step up as a leader and stand against President Trump. Sincerely, me. We are launching the denim revolution because change doesn't trickle down. It's built neighbor to neighbor. Put on your jeans, put on a pair of shoes, put on your courage, and show up. Radical empathy is our counter strategy. That toxic empathy that they're all talking about that has numbed them out of caring what any of the rest of us think, that's our weapon. We protect each other as American citizens, even when we disagree. That's how communities beat fear. Here's what I'm asking for today. Number one, leaders, call publicly for impeachment proceedings and immediate protections for targeted citizens. Defend the First Amendment. It is your fucking job. Number two, neighbors, check in with each other. If someone's scared to speak or work, or if they're now out of a job or they're just feeling kind of disoriented by everything.
I'll tell you what else could help. What individuals can do at this point, at like this far down the fascist rabbit hole. Keep a journal or a diary or whatever. Contemporaneous reports about what's happening are going to be invaluable in the future. And all those questions that you have about Germany and how it unfolded there, answer those questions in the journal. I know you know those answers now. I do. Like, how could they have let this happen? Like, how could they have permitted this? How did we get to the point where this is possible in the first place? And in my experience, I'm going to write a book about it because I haven't kept a journal up to this point. Yes, I could start now, but I'm going to write a book about it. And it's going to answer all of the questions that I and historians had about how the culture devolved the way that it did. It's really disturbing to watch this unfold.
Everything going.
I have autism. I can't emigrate. I cannot emigrate either, Jakester. And so we're in it together, you and I. And I'm not going to stop releasing information about what's happening. And I'm not going to stop criticizing. They may try to silence me, which is why I say owenmorgan.com/Patreon. If they silence my Patreon, then you'll know to go to owenmorgan.com, presumably. But it's a pretty disturbing moment for sure. Just a reminder, I would really appreciate it if you guys checked out my Patreon. If you're not going to donate, you don't have to, but follow me there at the very least. owenmorgan.com/Patreon. Just in case something happens with the government or whatever. It would be really good if you had some way to connect with me and my content. I'm really concerned about that. And maybe you should consider that for other creators too.
On this week, be there for them. Number three, make one real world move tonight. Introduce yourself to the neighbor you didn't know. Email your congressman. Email the White House. Engage in some really targeted economic redistribution. If you guys normally eat out at a chain restaurant on Friday nights, find a family-owned business that you can support locally. Let's pull that financial rug right out from under the millionaires and billionaires. More than anything, build back your tribe. Grandparents,
That's very important. And you know what else is important? Band together. Do not allow... All right, let me think about how to phrase this. There was a lot of tension between communists and social democrats in Germany. They hated each other. With good reason in some cases. You know, some of the communists were complete fucking scumbags. But if they had banded together, things may have gone differently. You have a problem with this one streamer? Get over it. You think that this group is like taking advantage of people's whatever. You heard this drama and you think that whatever. Get over it. We're here to fight fascism now. That is our primary goal and our only goal. That's what it should be, fighting fascism right now. No more and no less.
Boomers, stop playing pickleball. Come back to your grandkids. We need you. You guys are a missing generation. Invite your college kids to stay home while they go to school. Maybe put a little kitchenette in their bedroom so that they feel a little bit more like adults, so that we can...
Yes, absolutely. Make it possible for family to stay with you.
Collectively, financially support one another. Tribal decay has gotten us right where they want us. Rebuilding our tribes, reconnecting with one another is the ultimate form of resistance. Freedom is safer when we're connected. If you're with me, drop the word denim in the comments, share this video, call your representatives, email them, whatever you need to do. Yes, today. I was part of the machine that's hurting us. I'm using my voice now to stop it because I know exactly what their end game is. Please join me. My letter to my senator is in my Substack, as is my complete denim revolution and some other things. I've lifted my paywall on almost everything on my Substack so that you can read. My number one recommended article that I wish you would roll over there and read is one that I'll drop down here, My Life as a White Supremacist. I was indoctrinated in white supremacy as a toddler. And remember, we're writing the future today that our children will live out tomorrow. Let's write a better damn future. Thanks, guys.
It was interesting, yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting take on it. I totally agree. It's important that we come together now. Like, now of all times, come together as a community and stop attacking people who are on your side. Attack fascism. We're here to come at fascism, specifically. Yeah, tell me what you think in the comments.